Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys That Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, and David again. Say what's up, boys.
Going
What's up,
on?
boys and
What's
girls?
up, boys? Welcome back to another edition of our Commander Grade video. This time we are doing Innistrad Midnight Hunt, starting off with our monocolored legendaries they've announced. Are they good commanders? Maybe they're good in the 99. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it right now. So without further ado, let's jump into the only white legendary creature they announced in the set. We've got Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Adeline is 1 and 2 white for a star 4. She's a human knight. She has vigilance. It says her power is equal to the number of creatures you control, and whenever you attack for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. Let's start off with David. David, what do you think about this card?
So I feel like this is really hard for me to judge because this wants to obviously be like a human tribal or at least like a go wide token thing. And in this set alone, we have some really stiff competition for that. I feel like we have like 4 or 5 legendary creatures that really care about human tribal. And I think this is probably my least favorite out of all of them. No, I take that back. Second least favorite maybe out of all of them because I do have one that I really don't like.
Okay. Wait, in terms of the creatures from the set or just like legendary humans?
As far as like creatures from this set, legendary creatures from this set that care about like human tribal. Given that this one also cares about tokens, so it does have like a second avenue that it's going down. As far as like the rest of it on this, I mean, you pay 3 mana, you get a star 4, so it's got a big butt, which is cool. It's a pretty solidly statted creature, and it's gonna pump itself. My concern, however, being is that I feel like this is something that's gonna rush out, be super aggressive in the very beginning of the game, and then very quickly just kind of hit a wall where your opponents happen to have blockers or other creatures in play, and then this thing is just not gonna do anything for you.
Okay. Shane, what do you think?
I'm on the same camp, but I think there are ways to build around it. I was thinking about just now. Not only can you go wide with this, but let's say you put this in a deck with auras and enchantments, or not enchantments, auras and like put the pants on one creature. Let's make him kind of buffed up. You can make him trample, you can make it or her. Sorry, you can give her trample. You can give her certain things. Like there's ways to make her in a deck. She just won't die. And then also, I want to clarify with David and Hunter, I guess. I don't. In the beginning, when we first talked about this card, it made sense. But now that I'm thinking about it more, with the whole 1/1 that you're creating, if I'm in a 4-player commander deck or commander game, and I'm
Including
attacking,
yourself?
including myself, so I'm the 4th person, including, and I'm gonna attack one of you. I'm gonna attack David. Do I create 3 1/1s attacking only Hunter? Sorry, only attacking David, or do you get the 1/1 for each one you're attacking? So I have to attack multiple people in one turn.
It's attacking that player. The wording on it is that
Yeah, I
player.
know.
It's not
I
whenever
get
you're
it. I get it.
attacking any specific.
I get it. But like, so that player isn't the initial player you attacked. Is that what
No.
you're saying?
No.
Got it.
You'll have one of the tokens swinging at whatever your intended target is, and then the other 2 tokens going in opposite directions at the other 2 people sitting at the table.
Well, my opinion on this card is I think it's great. I think as a white human player myself, I think it's a solid mono white commander. Again, I have a mono white human EDH deck by itself. Do I plan to switch out the commander for the one I'm using? No. That's why I think it's okay. But I still think you can definitely build around it. Like you guys already said, pumps itself. Most of the time, you're not going to be playing a one-on-one, so it's in Commander. I mean, you could, but it's always going to pump itself more. And vigilance on it is really nice.
I think it gets stronger in the bigger games as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Then you're not shotgunning the one player, but this card gets big as fucking like pseudo shotguns that one player. It's like all the creatures aren't going there, but this card can easily become like a 10-4, something big. And
for
with
3
commander damage, we know like that's pretty big.
For 3 mana, it's still relatively cheap for commander cost. So I'm
Yeah, it
okay
is.
with this.
I don't think it's bad. I just feel like once your opponent has set up some form of defense, whether they have blockers or I don't know, even just cast some interaction, a board wipe, I feel like this is going to do. It's not going to do very well to like get back into the fight.
Do you agree though? You could just like build around the whole, like I said, give it trample, give it protection, give it certain things like hexproof. You could make this card stupid.
Yeah, you can totally do this like a tokens matter where you're including things like tangible virtue, or you can do the Voltron route where you're just trying to put the pants on, as you said,
Yep.
and swing in big with her. So I don't
Put
think
my
she's
pants
bad.
on.
I'm gonna give her a C. How about you guys on grades?
I'm
Yeah.
giving her a B.
Yeah, I was gonna give her a C as well, just because, like Hunter said, there are way better white choices. If anything, this would 100% slot into your 99. That
Yeah, and I think she might. Overall, our grade for this is a C. So that being the only mono white, let's move on to the blue color commander, which is Lier, Disciple of the Drowned, or Lier, however you want to say it. I'm saying Lier. So Lier is 3 and 2 blue for a 3/4. It's a human wizard. It says spells can't be countered. It also says each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. Shane, you start us off with this one.
as a blue lover, I do find it strange, but we've had a lot of conversation about this card, and we talked about how, oh, it's so cool that blue they actually normally care about counters magic, but you can still have counter magic in your deck as long as this is on the field. So I feel like you just have to be mindful of when you commander out, right? It's not just like you can't just like say, oh, I just won't run any counters, and then the flashback. That's insane. It's the exact same cost. Basically, you get all your cards twice, and I'm sure you just I don't play this kind of style, but I'm sure you just find some kind of dumb combo and oh, can't counter it, suck my dick, and then you win the game. So I'd say it's a good card.
I love how you have to preface there with, I don't play this kind of stupid stuff.
I
As
don't.
someone who does love combos, though, I actually think this card is fantastic for that because it shuts down that interaction. So where like your combo is just going to get pushed through so long as this thing's in play because your opponent can't interact with it on the stack in terms of being able to counter it at least. I think this card is really dope, and I do agree with your point, by the way, of like you can still include counters in your deck. Just be mindful that like you do need to be very aware of when is an appropriate time to cast your commander and when is not because of that. I think it's really interesting too that that's being Blue's primary way of interacting with its opponents is being able to like counter and mess them up on the stack interaction, and this is going to limit you with that. And then yeah, its second ability is absolutely insane. I would love to put this in like an extra turns deck. That way I can just like take an extra turn and then flash back the extra turn and then just kind of go nutty with that.
One more thing for you. I feel like this would just be a dirtle. Like, okay, imagine your deck is you do have counters, and you hold your counters up for while your commander's not in play. You dirtle until you have the combo or find in the combo. You would only cast this the minute that you have your combo, then you win the game. Like your commander only comes in when you're ready to win, so your opponent would be like, all right, don't let the fucking commander live.
Yeah, this is your protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a player that doesn't play a lot of blue, saying spells can't be countered with a blue card really piques my interest. It almost makes me want to play this card. But as just looking at it from a Magic standpoint, I think it's very good. As you guys have already reiterated, that flashback is insane. You can, like, even putting this into, if you have a commander that's blue and red or just something else that has blue, this card is wonderful. And the 99 as well.
I agree.
As far as the commander goes, also yes, I like it a lot. And if we're going to be talking grades, I'm giving this a B.
I'm going to give this a B as well. I think my only real critique with this one being is, well, I have two. The first one being 5 mana cost is a little bit steep. So if you are playing in a combo deck, you'd A, have to have a ton of mana in order for you to play this and then combo off, or B, you probably have to drop this the turn beforehand. And then my other complaint being is that for whatever reason, this spell can be countered. So I wish it had that little line of text on it saying this spell can't be countered, but whatever.
Yeah. Shane, what do you got?
I kind of wanted to give it an A for a minute, but then that's a good point. Like once you play this card, you can't like playing this card and then hoping that it lives a turn is wishful thinking because you have no way to interact and protect it. So you do have to have the 5 mana and then whatever other mana it is for whatever combo you're running. So like I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably give it a B tier just because you need a lot of mana in my mind to do what you want to do and win that turn.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm going to give it a B as well. And I think with like what you said, this is a signpost card of like, you need to interact with me or I'm going to force a win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Well, that average is a B. Let's move on to the black colored legendaries. We're going to start it off with Jerren, Corrupted Bishop. Jerren, Corrupted Bishop is 2 and a black for a 2/3 human cleric. It says, whenever Jerren, Corrupted Bishop, enters the battlefield or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 white human creature token. You can also pay 2 and have target human you control gain lifelink until end of turn. And the last line of text says, at the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 4 and 2 black. If you do, transform Jerren. 1 Jerren is transformed. He turns into Ormendahl, the Corruptor. Ormendahl is a 6/6 demon that has flying, trample, and lifelink. It also has sack another creature. Draw a card. Hello, David. Let's start with you.
There is so much text on this card, and I want to love it, but for not, I don't know. I want to love this card. I can't love this card. I'm gonna try with all my heart. It's just not gonna work. Getting to 13 life in EDH seems not only difficult, but also very dangerous. So I don't think I'm gonna get Jerren to flip very often, and even if I do, I'm gonna be super pissed whenever I do all that work, only for it to eat a kill spell.
Exactly.
So realistically, this card doesn't actually even have like that third mode on the bottom. I'm probably never going to transform this thing. So I guess it's a cool aristocratic human tribal card. And the backside is like pure gas if you can hit it, but don't rely on that.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat with you. I think it's for 3 mana. It's got a lot of text on it for like a human tribal in black, which is different than what we just saw in white. But like you said, making it 13 life, paying 6 mana once you get to 13 life, flipping it into something that isn't a thing that can win you the game on the spot, I don't think it's worth it at all. And then once it, like what you said, once it dies, it's just, well, I'm at 13 life. Good luck. I don't know. Shane, what do you think?
I can see a world where this card flips the turn you play 3. Like turn 3, you play that fucking dumb tree that gives you 13 life, or changes your life with tree's life. So you give the tree like a 0/40, and it becomes 13, and then you play this the next turn, and you have a 6/6 flyer on turn 3. So like I think there's a world where that is a possibility, and then you run like Triskaidekaphobia and like other dumb shit like that, and like there is things to do it, but I'm in the same camp to where like that is a lot of setup, and you're probably just gonna be doing the risk rat thing like David said. But on the nuts draw, when you're like, you see your hand, you're like, I can get myself 13 health on turn 3. I'm gonna fucking win the game now. That's cool. I don't know if you thought about that, Dave, but that's possible.
I love how your brain is putting this together. And I do absolutely love the backside. Being able to sacrifice a creature to just straight up draw a card is nuts.
Now, will it happen every game? No.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. Even if you do manage to get this thing to flip on, say, turn 3, it's a 6/6 with flying, trample, and lifelink, which is cool. But its second ability is, to me at least, the really powerful one, the being able to sack a creature and draw a card. And if you just like used all of your resources to force this, like, yeah, I'm gonna use air quotes for combo through, how many creatures do you actually have in play to feed this thing?
We got a big fucking tree. About it.
All right.
If you want
You
to go
got
the
one.
tree.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that was just like a theory craft that I'm not saying is a good thing to do, but I mean, realistically, if you had, let's say you even still had that combo, quote unquote combo, you probably wouldn't do it turn 3. You probably develop your board a little bit. You probably have more things to sack and do what you're saying, but
To be
it's
fair,
possible.
you're talking Tree of Perdition. Tree of Perdition
Yeah.
is 4 mana.
I thought it was. I'm dumb.
Well,
I'm just dumb.
Well, I mean, he also is also neglecting the fact that you have to pay 6 mana to flip this thing too, in addition to the 13 life. So we're living in a world at this point where like
All right,
you are
I'm making
using
shit up.
every ritual in the world, and like you have just like the most gas nutty like accelerant hand. So
You're not
is
wrong.
it possible? Sure. Is it gonna happen? No.
But
So what grade are you giving it?
I'll give
I'm
it
gonna.
a C. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good, man. I'm gonna give it a D. I do like the lifelink ability on the front half, and the Aristocrat's portiony thing is cool. So I'm not gonna go any lower than that, but I'm not very high on this card.
I'm also giving it a D. It's cool for standard, not for EDH, in my personal opinion.
I'm just gonna give it my C then, because there's a world where I'm gonna theory craft it and make it an amazing card.
Stay the optimist.
Let's move on to another black card. This is Gisa, Glorious Resurrector. Gisa is 2 and 2 black for a 4/4 human wizard. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of your upkeep, put all creature cards exiled with Gisa onto the battlefield under your control. They gain Decayed. Oh boy, this is a fun card. Build around this with kill spells and board wipes, and you've got a lot of your opponent's stuff.
As long as the board wipe doesn't touch you, though.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, you give your stuff protection.
In black, I feel like that's kind of hard to do, and it is a delayed trigger. It's at the beginning of your upkeep.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it's a dope ass card though. Like it also shuts off any deck that cares about your graveyard. Get fucked.
Kind of. If they're self-milling, they're fine.
True.
Or if they're intentionally throwing cards into the graveyard, they're fine there too.
But I'd imagine that you're kind of caring about the whole exile thing, so you'll definitely build around the fact that like you'll have other things in your deck, stupid lands. Like I don't know. This is definitely a graveyard hate the fuck out of your graveyard deck.
I don't know if I agree on that. I feel like if you're a dedicated graveyard deck, you're probably playing things like Buried Alive to go off and grab specific cards to throw into the graveyard, and Gisa doesn't interact there.
No. But I'm saying you'd have other cards like there are other cards that just say exile target player's graveyard or graveyards.
Yeah.
You probably that could be like your sub theme of like fucking graveyards over.
True. A good old exile. Just start running Shadows Verdict, stuff like that.
I do still think
it's a great card.
I do still think she actually is pretty solid. She reminds me a lot of Teargrid from
Oh
my goodness. There we go. The set that came out like 6 months ago that I forgot.
6 months. It's almost been a year now, friend.
Time moves slowly over here, or quickly. Slowly.
But
yeah, I understand where you, because when they get rid of stuff, then you can just play it. Except for the Decayed part, I'm not a big fan of, but I get it. That would be way too powerful.
Hey, wait. I just thought about this. Decayed just kills it, right? So it does actually go to their graveyard.
Yeah. So after you attack with the creature, it kills itself.
So then it will go back to the graveyard. So everything I said is stupid, so never mind.
I guess you're right, man.
Maybe that's why you run those extra graveyard exile effects.
Maybe, dude.
I don't know.
Overall, David, what's your letter grade on this?
I'm gonna give this one a B. It makes your removal really, really powerful. I also think that being able to sacrifice your opponent's toys because, well, you'd end up getting them, it can also be something that's really neat. So I think she's pretty powerful.
I'm also giving it a B. I think she is she's great. I don't have anything else to say. 4 mana is also right in that wheelhouse of being what you want. 4 or less, good commander.
So let's hop on the gravy train and see if it be.
BBB! A BB, we got the average of a B. Moving on to another black legendary creature. This is Jadar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia. Jadar is a 1/1 human wizard. He says at the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a 2/2 zombie with Decayed.
I think
That's
this
it.
might be my favorite legendary from the entire set because there's literally nothing to talk about.
That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward and like solid. I don't know, it feels good.
What
I
do
like
you?
that.
Okay, Shane, go ahead. Tell me why this is a good commander.
I mean, you get 2 bodies, 2 mana. That's really good. This go wide zombie deck that you. That's what I think. At least you're gonna be carrying things like you're gonna be putting things in like what's that new one that just got reprinted, dude? Champion of the Parish, dude. Boom. Is that only cast actually? Take that back. It's only casting zombies. Regardless, you're making a zombie deck, dude. That you play this turn 2. You have 2 bodies at the end of your turn. That seems good. You swing with it dies. You get another one.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, but what? That seems good to me.
Earlier in this episode, we talked about how we had limits on Adeline and didn't like slam dunk how amazing that was. And that was 3 mana for 4 bodies.
That's really good.
Side note: if you don't remember, Decayed, you also can't block.
Yeah, this card isn't that bad. I don't think it's that.
I think this card's terrible.
I think it's
And
pretty
here's why.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You're just making 1 zombie. If you don't have a zombie with Decayed, it does absolutely nothing if you keep that 1 with Decayed. Or if you have anything else that has Decayed, it does 0.
You wouldn't keep.
It's a 1/1.
Why would you keep a zombie with Decayed? Can't block, like you said. You'd be attacking no matter what.
I know.
It's a
That's
2/2 though.
It's just a 2/2 that dies. It like okay, realistically, let's say this commander died 3 times. You're paying 8 mana for a 1/1 that makes a 2/2 that dies.
You're fucking pretty strong to me, dude.
Actually, I'm gonna align myself in Shane's world for this because now that you mention it, this thing is never gonna get to 8 mana. Realistically speaking, I'm never wasting a kill spell on this, so it's just gonna stick around and not die.
Hey, you never attack with this motherfucker.
It's so terrible.
It's very irrelevant.
You mean relevant? You misspoke. I get it. Cool.
You're right. I swear at the beginning.
What's the grade? What? Okay. What's the grade, Shane? What do you got?
C. I'm gonna give it a C.
A C.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an F.
It's an F.
This might be the worst commander I've ever seen.
This is where we get to look in like a week or two, and you get a comment to say, "Shane was the only one that was fucking smart in this video." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I was, dude."
Is that why your opinion's so different? Just because you want to see a comment?
No, because what the fuck? These are my opinions. Are you
These are my opinions.
accusing me of changing my opinions?
And maybe, dude.
Fucking
My
hell.
only question on top of this doesn't seem like it should be legendary at all to do just so little.
What? You keep saying so little. I don't think it's so little.
Okay.
What do you want it to get? Like fucking haste?
Sure.
I don't
That'd be
know.
something. I
What's
mean, have you
haste?
seen the other text on the other cards we've already talked about?
I'm not saying that it's a fucking all-star. I'm saying that it's
But you're giving it a C.
which is fucking bad. You get a
Like
C
a
in high
C is
school. You
average.
Yeah, average, exactly.
Not bad.
If you're getting C's, I'm pretty sure you're stupid.
All right.
Shane,
Well, the average grade
What?
here is an F still. Actually,
The
No,
D,
it's
dickhead. Got him.
okay, it's a D because you grab that average too much.
Bitch, I'll fucking change mine to an A if you want to keep fighting, dude.
Let's move on to the red one. The red legendary. David, you want to read this one?
Dude, Wizards did me so dirty here. So the red legendary, we have a lot to talk about as to why it's not in the set. There are no mono red legendary creatures. What the fuck, Wizards?
You didn't get the memo, dude?
Didn't get the memo.
Bro, they don't fucking like you.
Well, let's just move on to the final monocolored legendary. And as the green one, that is Saryth, the Viper's Fang. Saryth is 2 and 2 green for a 3/4 human warlock. It says other tapped creatures you control have Death Touch. Other untapped creatures you control have Hexproof. You can also pay 1 and tap it to untap another target creature or land you control. Go ahead and start us off, David.
I was really hoping you'd call on Shane for this one. I think that generally speaking, this is just kind of an all-around. It's just a good card. I mean, I feel like this is something that's like it's going to be impactful, even at its absolute worst. So just based on that, I think I like it. I mean, being able so giving your other creatures Death Touch is dope. That means that all of your attackers, so long as they don't have Vigilance, they're coming in with Death Touch. Your opponents probably aren't going to want to be blocking them. Whenever they're not attacking, whenever they're untapped, they're going to have Hexproof, which means now they're going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. And then her third ability there for you to be able to untap another target creature or land, and that doesn't say basic land, so you can actually target some of the more like gnarly lands in EDH to maybe be able to untap something like a Cabal Coffers or a Gaia's Cradle, or I don't know, what is it, the one that Itlamok flips into, or any of the other crazy lands that you can be playing around with to generate like massive amounts of mana.
An island.
Or an island.
No, it's green. You can't.
Fuck.
Not if it's the general. Not if it's your commander.
Yeah. As someone that has a Finn the Fangbearer deck, this is a must-have in that deck because everything's going to have hexproof if they haven't attacked yet, and once I attack, everything's got Death Touch. That's amazing. Give it to me now. But as a commander itself, also, I think you hit all of my points, David. It's fantastic. The untap target land thing that you hit on makes a lot of mana really quickly. It could definitely finish a game very fast.
You haven't even talked about the best part, dude.
What's the best part?
She is borderline. I'm not saying she is, but she's like mom, dude. Because you have a creature you have a creature that attacks in or something. You go to remove it. You just pay and tap her, and then it gets hexproof on the stack. You basically just got protection from everything. So it's like, thanks, mom. That's really fucking amazing.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I just talked about the floor on this card. I think at absolute worst, it's still really solid.
Yeah, this card, except for she doesn't protect herself, so you have to somehow protect her. But she does literally everything else. This card is really fucking good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And that is why I'm giving this card a B.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead next.
I'm waiting for you, bitch.
I'm going to give this one a B as well. I think that she's generally solid.
And we're going to do another B, dude. 3 Bs in a row.
3 Bs in a row. This one is a B. And that wraps up our first video for the monocolored legendary creatures from Midnight Hunt. Stay tuned for the next episode. We are going to be covering part 1 of the multicolored, and then we'll do a part 2 because there's only 6, as we just went over, in this little monocolored, and we have 11 from the multicolor, so we'll split that in 2 videos. Hit that like button if you liked it. If you have any opinions on what we thought, or if you agree with us, comment down below. Let us know. Hit the like button. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Until the next video, we will hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.